fight me. Step into my arena. Yeah, nigga. Y'all punk-ass ninjas can't wait to see the ice break. Bellin' through the hood with my chocolate rice cakes. 15 ninjas in a row, jumping out the bushes with a taekwondo. Yo.
And welcome to another episode of the Movie Dump,
where we discuss some more important questions in life, such as the weird conspiracy between the Pink Panther and the Exterminator Guild.
What the hell? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Haven't you guys heard the theme song to the Pink Panther?
Oh, yeah. No, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end.
And that's all for this week.
I was going to say, welcome to Movie Dump, where obviously if we didn't have our podcast marked as explicit, we absolutely have to have it marked as explicit after that opening song.
Yes, good old Ice Cube back in his glory days.
Most racist and loud, angriest song we've ever
featured.
It's true, it's true.
On the surprisingly children-friendly movie Street Fighter.
Yes.
That wasn't really children-friendly, I guess.
No, it's the 1994 one, not the new one that we came out with, or the animated one.
So what did we watch this week, you guys?
Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
no, we didn't.
We watched the Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia Street Fighter from 1994, as I just said.
I think this might be the Nick Sick podcast, too, because I was sick all week, and I'm going to sound all nasally. And
which is fun.
I don't know, you sound alright to me.
Well, I just hit puberty this week, so...
Oh, okay, all right.
That's the real excuse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, just to get the ball rolling here, Scott, hit us up with the synopsis.
Well, unlike last week's, this one is short and sweet and to the point. Anyway, basically, it's about Colonel Guile and various other martial arts heroes fight against the tyranny of dictator M. Bison and his cohorts.
I've got a better synopsis.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Just say it.
This is the actual Nick Brown synopsis of it. It is, let's see, I'm just going to fly off the top of my head here. Street Fighter, a movie that completely fucks up the video game. The end. That was it.
No truer words have ever been spoken.
Yes.
That fucked this game up, man.
Yes.
They got a Street Fighter, a movie where we got absolutely every single thing wrong about the entire Street Fighter collection.
Well, where would you like to start with that?
I don't know. I have like a whole 16 pages worth of notes.
I know you and I were like going notes crazy on this one.
Well, what's kind of funny is like we don't really like look at each other's notes while we're watching the movie. And like halfway through,
we're sitting on opposite sides of the room.
Yeah, sitting on opposite sides of the room. So it's not like we were like in high school looking at each other's paper or anything like that. But we were. There was like maybe. I don't know, what was it, like 20 minutes into it or something like that?
Not even 20 minutes into it.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, you made mention about how, alright, well that's going to be a note of Colonel Guile being a douche.
Yeah.
And I just kind of laughed. I'm like, dude, that's exactly what I have on here too. I'm doing a whole cataloging, a tally of how many instances Guile was a douche.
Well, it was kind of hard halfway through the movie. You're sitting here going, okay, I know these are supposed to be the bad guys and these are supposed to be the good guys.
They fucked that
on the wrong side.
The bad guys were acting more like good guys, and the good guys were acting more like bad guys. Jean-Claude Van Damme was just a complete dick in this whole entire movie.
This was absolutely bizarro Street Fighter, because not only did they get the characters kind of on the wrong teams, where the bad guy characters in the game were on the good guy's side in the film, but all the bad guys that were supposed to be bad, really weren't that bad. They were like, the good guys in the film were far more douchey than the bad guys were.
Do we have an example?
Yeah, I got like fucking a lot of examples of it.
You loaded that board up.
Maybe I went about 45 minutes into it, but I have 14 instances of Guile douchiness on here.
He was just
to how many
ass.
How many instances of M. Bison douchiness was there? Just for comparison's sake.
I have one. Because I tallied them both up, and there was one instance of Bison douchiness to the 14, 15 instance of Guile.
There was another part where he could kind of be considered a douche, but the line is just delivered so well, and it's such an awesome line.
What is it?
It's our favorite line of the whole entire movie.
I'll get into that. I'll get into that. I don't want to blow my wad on it.
No. But that line, like, it's such a douchey line, but yet it's such an awesome line that it cancels itself out.
So I think the first instance of M. Bison douchiness I had on this one is it too early to play a soundbite? Are we at that point yet? All right,
no,
I'm gonna play soundbite.
It's never like too 5 minutes into it, 6 minutes into it, you can go.
All right, soundbite.
Well, that is the exchange rate the Bank of England will set to once I've kidnapped their queen.
So that one, yeah, he's like he's gonna kidnap the Queen of England, and I'm like,
and that's the only demonstration of him being a douche.
Yeah,
that's pretty borderline douchiness right there.
That's kind of evil.
I mean, the Queen of England's like at that time was what, like 60 something.
Yeah, maybe.
Nothing's more evil than kidnapping an old lady.
Well, it's funny because like everything that he does in this, like I don't know. In my whole political science career, I think it's there was one of my favorite lines just in philosophies in life is one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, and like this is a perfect example of it because everything that Bison's doing. He actually has pretty good fucking reason to do it throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
And he's just not... He has actually... Well, here, another soundbite.
All I want to do is to create the perfect genetic soldier. Not for power, not for evil, but for good.
And right there, he sounds so... Like,
yeah, he
sounds like the good guy. I was on board with him right after that. I'm like, all right, sign me up.
I'm like, all right, I'll enlist.
Do it.
I'll enlist in the army. Not the fucking United, or not the United. It wasn't the United Nations. The Allied Nations.
Allied Nations. Yep. Yes.
Because they can't fucking even get it right. They put a Belgian man in.
That annoyed me the whole entire time. You have Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is portraying an American soldier. Has the American tattoo on. He's playing Guile. And he has a Belgian accent.
Yeah.
I was like, well, if you have allied nations, why didn't you just fucking make him Belgian? I mean, you already fucked up the rest of the characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead that extra step, or cast someone that actually has an American accent.
Yeah, like what, was Steven Seagal not available?
I don't know.
Would that have made the movie more watchable? Or
no.
Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, really,
they could have gotten Kurt Russell, if anything.
No, that would have been
awesome.
I would have watched that.
That would, yeah.
It's like they got any actor they absolutely could.
Yeah.
Fucking Kylie Minogue, whatever the hell
is Cammy?
Yeah, it's Cammy. She was just in this, and I didn't even realize that
until
was
the end.
Cammy until the end when I saw the credits. I'm like, hey, it's the chick that made the music song thing.
What?
Yeah, she did a song. There's I forget what soundbite.
I'm glad you had that on your soundboard.
I did the research.
Nick is the master of obscurity.
Yeah.
She's like, oh shit, she's on there. I gotta quickly put that in.
Yeah, it was like they just grabbed any actor that they absolutely could and threw them in this role that didn't even really remotely resemble it. But to his acting credits, Raul Julia
God rest his
awesome
soul.
in this film. It sucks that this was his last film, but it's gotten to the point where I realize now Raul Julia, like, he could read the fucking phone book, and I'd be like, this is amazing phone book. This is so great.
Yes.
He was awesome in this. Every single line he did was fucking so cool.
He was the only way that I really wanted to watch this movie was just because of him.
He was the only one that had anything like behind it that made me want. Yeah,
he really saved the movie.
Yes,
not that there was a lot going for it even after he saved it, but still.
Yeah. And he was actually nominated for a Saturn Award. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
What the hell's a Saturn Award?
It's
Best Actor from
Best
Saturn?
Best Supporting Actor from Saturn.
Yeah.
When you're an alien, that's what you get.
Which I just think it's kind of customary whenever any actor dies, they have to be nominated if they die right after doing a project.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems like that's the trend.
I'm going to nominate Raul Julia.
But he was worth it. He definitely deserved it.
I'm going to nominate Raul Julia for the Movie Dome Actor of the Decade Award.
Is that good or bad?
2 months into
Since we watch shitty movies, I mean, if you nominate him for the best actor, doesn't that mean that he's like Shitty?
No, I mean, he's a good actor.
He did a good job. He did a very good job.
He did, yeah.
We'll have a separate award for like shitty award.
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
which will go to Terrence Trent D'Arby. I don't know. I don't even. Was he even in the film? I don't know. That's the only name that popped in my head.
I remember when I was researching for this film that I saw a interview with Raul Julia.
Yeah.
That he was talking about why he did the movie, and
was it because his kids told him to do it?
The only reason why he did the movie is because his kids were like, big fans of the video game, and he was doing it just for his kids, not because of the script was good, not because of the character or anything.
Well,
he did it just for his kids.
That's actually a pretty noble, reason to do something.
And to think that your last film was something that you did for your kids. I think that's like even better. It just sucks that the movie
was
bombed.
I seem to think that like there's a lot of actors that do that stuff for their kids, like, and it was like relatively big roles. Like wasn't it was the same thing with like Dennis Hopper in the Super Mario Brothers movie? Like he took the role because his kids wanted him to do it.
Sure, let's say that.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm fine with that.
Like that's why the first Dumbledore took the role. Like he was a drunken idiot who didn't know anything about like fucking wizards or anything.
So you're just picking people that are.
No, I think that's true.
So we can't go back and be like, is this true or not?
Right, so we won't get a letter from their publicist. DearMovieDump.com. Raul Julia did not pick this for his son.
Yeah.
Or like their sons are going to show up on our doorstep and be like,
Raul Julia was a spokesman for Capcom. So.
He was contractually obligated.
Yes. All right.
Now, if you're gonna give him an award for Movie Dump Actor of the Year, I'm gonna give Raul Julia also another award too, as in the guy who looks the most like Tony Horton from the P90X Exercise series.
We don't know who that is.
You're the only one that exercises.
Yeah, we just go to the gym and like.
Well, look it up. He looks just staggeringly similar to this guy. It's creepy.
So he looks sickly and like he's about to die.
Yeah, he did look a little bit sickly on this.
Yeah, he was very sickly. He was.
The face was.
He looked pretty.
Yeah,
because the P90X guy, he's sort of old and.
Well, he had like a case of food poisoning before he did this film. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it made him look more evil. I think,
yeah.
like having like all bony face.
He had the sunken face look to him.
This is just that's another instance of this film fucking up the game series because that wasn't the original Bison. The Bison was like a chiseled
fucking badass.
Oh yeah.
Type of guy.
Well, everybody in that game was pretty freaking big.
I think this character of Bison was completely out of place as like an evil dictator. He would have like knocked it dead as like a Madison Avenue ad executive. I think because if you look,
he didn't go all crazy until the end.
Yeah, and if you look at this, like he was the leader of Shadaloo that all had that little skull and wing emblem, and that was fucking everywhere on all of his stuff. So he knew his marketing. He knew how to get his image out there. Fucking the stormtroopers had it, which. Yeah, they were fucking stormtroopers. I'll just say, they were cannon fodder. Yeah. They had it. If you look at the one scene where it's him and Chun-Li, and in that little like where he captured her, and he's kind of whining and dying her. There's fucking Shadaloo skulls everywhere in there. He's got like 16 hats that have the same thing, kind of like it's Lex Luthor's like stand of wigs. It's kind of like his own little hat. And then even like he's drinking like a martini or some shit like that, and even the thing that was straws the straws had it,
and his fireplace too.
Yes,
it was fucking everywhere, man. He even had his henchman or what's his name, Sagat, like had the tattoo on him, didn't he? Or no, he had
no. Sagat was a Death Eater.
Yeah, he had the Death Eater tattoo. If you fucking go back and watch it, he's got a Death Eater tattoo. It's got a snake and something.
It's a fucking Death Eater tattoo.
Yeah, it was a Death Eater. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But he was completely out of place. I think. Let's see. I don't know. I was
every single character was out of place, and
everybody was fucked up. Every single one. Yes. Name a character, and I'm pretty sure I can say how he was fucked up and misinterpreted from the game.
But what really got me about this, as far as character wise, was how they just suddenly.
Scott, I said name a character.
Chun-Li.
Okay, she in the movie. She was a reporter. In the game, she was a policewoman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep,
see,
that's true.
Told you, I'm a Street Fighter nerd. I know the culture. Okay, what were you going to say? Ben, name another character.
Sagat.
Okay, Sagat was an arms dealer in this, and in the game, he was actually a Muay Thai champion.
Yes.
And he had a scar on his chest.
Yes.
Which this one did not.
Well, he got a scar at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when he actually did fight in the movie, his stance was not Muay Thai, it was boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
that was another thing. That's like nobody had the same like little fight type thing, and it wasn't until
they tried to throw it in like
it was like the very end, like when they had like 15 minutes left. That
Vega
everybody
had it a little bit. Vega kind of.
Well, they fucked that character up too because like I mean he was the one that was maybe the closest to his like movie or his arcade roots.
Well, and that was because they just didn't develop him at all. They just
yeah, they're like, oh, he's vain. That's it.
Yeah.
But like, he's such a complex character in the game, and like the entire backstory of this, because he's like so vain that's his flaw almost. Like he's super fucking narcissistic.
Yep, which is why he wears the mask, and
yeah. And this one, he was just like, man,
he got his face burned, and you kind of see he was like, I don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, no, like, that was it, and it wasn't that because like if you look at the game or anything like that, when his face got fucked up, he was fucking pissed, dude. He would go all after you at that point. You'd be fucked.
It was a different type of vain.
Yeah,
it was him being vain to the point where if you fuck him up,
he was like a sissy boy.
Yeah,
in
this he was don't touch me.
Yeah,
look at me, I'm pretty.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. The fucking everybody was fucked up in this damn movie. Everyone.
Yep. It was everybody. Everything was backwards. It was, and it really threw me off. What I was gonna, say before was how they just started throwing characters randomly at you in the last 20 minutes of this movie.
It was. Well, something else that I thought was really kind of fucked up also, or maybe they just had so many characters like kind of thrown in there or something, and they didn't have time to develop it. But here, I'm going to play another soundbite.
I know you. You're Edmund Honda, the sumo from Hawaii. You almost made Yokozuna.
Until the Shadaloo Tong destroyed my reputation.
They did the same thing to me in my boxing career.
So that one was funny because he's just like, yeah, me too.
I have to point out, you're being very polite with these sound bites. Usually, you're just like,
I don't know,
like soundbite.
Maybe it's the fucking medication. I don't know.
I hope so. You're very calmly like, can I play a sound guy?
Well, I have to because like,
please play a sound bite. Yes.
I'm channeling all my rage. I'm doing what Honda did in this movie, where there's one scene he was getting beat with the fucking sticks. And he like shows no emotions or anything like that, and he's like, "Oh, fucking soundbite."
Oh man. Oh God. How do you keep from crying out?
I'm sumo, brother. My body could be in one place, my mind another.
So yeah,
being tortured, yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm sumo." So, which is kind of that soundbite is kind of fucked up too, because I don't think sumo is there. Like any art of sumo is where like your mind is in another place.
No, that's like kung fu. Or
that's like some sort of monk thing.
I could have swore that sumo was all about concentration.
Well, I didn't know fucking.
Well, that was a form of concentration, I guess.
Technically,
he is concentrating on not feeling the pain.
I didn't know fucking Hawaiians were sumo.
They can be.
Well, they fucked it up because in the game,
Samoan.
He wasn't
Speaking of
supposed to be
Hawaiian,
Samoan.
did you notice just tons of just unappropriate Hawaiian music?
Yeah, it's like whenever he shows up, you have this Hawaiian
shows
music.
up.
Yeah, and it wasn't. He was not fucking Hawaiian at all.
No,
it was just in
well,
the
his
game
character in the movie was.
Yeah,
but not in the game.
In fact, you could play any soundbite, and almost any time he's talking, there's Hawaiian music going on in the background, either during or immediately after he said the line.
Let's play a random soundbite where he's in there and he doesn't even like say a line, and let's see if we could hear the Hawaiian music.
Okay.
I think he said he could lead us outside.
What I said was, we're on the same side.
And there we go.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know.
Magical and inappropriate.
You don't even have to watch it, but you would still know when he's on screen.
This is a perfect example of somebody getting being contracted to write the script or like create this movie, and he really did absolutely no fucking research on this at all, at all. He played Street Fighter for 5 minutes and got the gist of it, and he's like, okay, I'll figure it out from here.
It's a fighting movie. Let's just throw crap at it.
This was nothing. The entire game was based around a fighting tournament. Where the fuck was the fighting tournament in this movie?
And that's what's sort of deceiving, because you watch the first one.
Yes.
You watch the beginning, and you're like, oh, there's going to be a organized fighting in a ring. This could turn into a tournament
between Ryu and however the hell you want to
it's really sad.
Vega.
The same guy that wrote
then
this
Van
also
Douche Dam goes and crashes.
Shut up, Scott. The same guy that
Oh, I've been putting my
We're
place.
such like we're such dicks to Scott.
Oh man, this is be a dick to Scott day.
The same guy that wrote this is also wrote Die Hard.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
worked on Die Hard.
Was that worth interrupting me for?
Yes.
Okay.
Continue.
Well, something else that I thought was like there were so many fucking editors on this, and like usually if you see an editor with the little ACE initials behind their name, you know that's pretty. You know they paid their dues.
Yeah.
There's like 5 fucking editors on this that had that many titles behind.
My theory was that each
They all got
one
fired.
got to a certain point and they just quit.
Maybe I don't know. But what were you saying, Scott?
I don't remember
It
anymore.
was
All right, it was
Guile crashing.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Right when
Yes.
it was like, it was
All
like,
right, shut up, Scott. So that was. I know what you're gonna say, and that was what.
Shut up and let him finish.
No, I'll finish it for him because Scott goes on and on about shit. So that was like one of the instances of Guile douchiness because it was they started this one little fight tournament and you're like or between Ryu and Vega and they're gonna be like there's the actual fight and fucking what happens right as the fight starts, Guile crashes his shit right through the fight. What are you doing, a Nick douche count now?
Oh yeah.
I should be up to like 4 already. I think. I don't know. But yeah, fucking Guile takes his army AN van and crashes it through the fucking wall and just ruins the fucking fight. So that was douche count at least number 2 or 3.
Yep.
Among the other douche counts I have for Guile, let's see, he once the fight broke out in prison, he just kind of sat there and watched. He didn't fucking stop it at all. He's just like, I don't know, they'll work it out.
But isn't that how it works in prison?
Well, not when it's supposed to be the AN watching over it. They're supposed to. This fucking allied nations would not have signed off on the Geneva Peace Accord at all.
No.
They just fucked everything up, man. They didn't give a shit.
And then his biggest one at the end, insubordination.
Yeah, he was fucking insubordinate.
His higher up just said, hey, stop going and, we don't want to fight these people. Let's negotiate. And he was like, fuck you!
Yeah.
Which is what a bad guy would do.
Yeah.
Not the good guys. The good guys want peace without fighting.
There was one funny thing that I didn't even notice that, Ben, I think you pinpointed. And I forgot what time. I didn't write down the time frame of it, but it was when the Superior came in and told Guile that they're going to negotiate the time frame, and then he goes and talks to his troops. And should we do a soundbite of that one?
His speech with the troops?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know why. All right, soundbite.
Troopers, I just received new orders. Our superiors say the war is canceled. We can all go home. Bison is getting paid off for his crimes. And our friends who have died here will have died for nothing. But we can all go home. Meanwhile, ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up. But we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
So that one, that really we didn't even need to play, but
speech that was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I guess we didn't even really need to play. But right after he does that speech, and he's like, "All right, we're all gonna go with me," and all the troops just run off in fucking random directions.
He just run off and
they're just like, "Oh, okay, let's run."
And then there's like a random shot of some woman like stuck in the middle of all this, holding up her shoe, going,
What the fuck? Where
the fuck did she come from?
There's no point at all for that shit. It was stupid, man.
It was a very random kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of, yeah.
It's bad direction.
Yeah. And there was something else that you pointed out, I suppose, on the Guile douchiness was like how he antagonized Bison like in the very first 5 minutes of the film. Like he just hijacked a news report and it's like, fuck you, Bison, suck my dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
You like to see stuff on TV? Look at this. And he just like flips him, the European bird.
Yeah. Which, again, if he was an American soldier, he would have just gone straight for the middle finger and not done some European flip off.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
you could just tell his mannerisms and everything that he does is just very European. Not
in the military, there's this, sort of a classification for it. It's conduct unbecoming of an officer.
Oh, like
God,
big time
to the max.
This shit was so fucked up.
Yeah. And then like when we first see that he's a martial artist, when I guess that guy breaks into the meeting and runs down the table to try to
what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah,
at the very beginning also.
That was the assassination attempt by probably somebody who was tired of putting up with the shit.
Yeah, so like Guile's fucking like holding a meeting and just out of nowhere some fucking dude jumps up on a table and runs across this table and tries to stab fucking Guile.
And what I like is
he sweeps the legs.
Yeah, he just sweeps his leg. The guy goes down and they're like, all right, now let's keep on going.
Yeah, all right, no, that's out of the way. Oh,
yeah,
okay, there we go.
It's like such a dick. I mean, just so cocky, and I just.
And there was another part of this. He got himself like fake shot, and I did they explain it in the film?
Yeah, he had. Well, when
he had to do that so
Chun-Li would find him or something.
No, it was so Sagat would befriend
Ken, right?
Ken Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck did he have to shoot him for anyway? Then I don't know. That's
so they can show that.
Another thing that was fucked up with this goddamn thing.
Oh, this is Nick is pissed off.
Ken and Ray and
the
fucking
drugs are wearing off, ladies and gentlemen.
They were fucking like arms dealers, like con men in this. Also, that was fucking not
They were
part of the
arms
game
dealers
at all.
and con men, and this whole
was
movie
fucking stupid, and they fucking sold like Nerf guns to Sagat.
Honestly, this whole movie could have been 10 times better if they just changed the fucking title. Like, that's the problem with a lot of these movies that we're reviewing. Like, they just have this title that doesn't
Street Fighter
fit.
the movie. They should have cut a fucking boo-boo kitty fuck fighter or something. I don't know, some shit like that. This was fucking not Street Fighter.
Anything else, and it would have been a good script. But with them trying,
no, it wouldn't have been a good script. It would have been fucking.
It would have been a taller. It would have been a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
And you wouldn't have
fucking action.
And you wouldn't have Raul Julia in it, and probably wouldn't have gone to theaters. But with it just having the title of Street Fighter and using these characters' names, that is the only reason why they got the publicity, why they got some of the actors in it, and the biggest part of them fucking up this movie is because they have something that's already established, and they just pretty much wipe their ass with it and go a different direction.
Well, this is it's sort of weird because when video game movies first started coming out, like this one, Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat, it was basically just sort of like a nod back to the exploitation film era.
That's a great fucking
example. Would go up there and we'd be like, oh yeah, I love this game. This movie's gonna be awesome. We'd show up and we'd get just incredibly
and you get
disappointed.
Fucking kicked in the nuts, man.
But it's too late because you already spent your $7
perfect
in the
fucking
theater.
explanation.
Yeah, I don't think they've done one good video game movie. I'm still waiting for a really good one.
I heard Silent Hill was decent.
No.
I'd say probably the closest I've seen to a good video game movie was probably
Ghostbusters.
No.
Yeah, followed the NES version perfectly. No. But no, actually, Resident Evil, the first one was actually good. I enjoyed that.
The first one was good, and it kind of it had the mansion in there.
Oh yeah, it had the mansion, the underground lab. I mean, it didn't follow like the game for Squad, but
it was good.
And
then after that, it just went to shit.
It was believable.
Yeah. So Ben, we had a factual factual dispute on this, but you and I did.
Which
you stated that this was the second video game film that came out.
Yes,
and I disagree. Because I don't remember the time frame. I think it was Double Dragon came out, and then Super Mario Brothers, and then this one came out later. I think this was later on down the line. Not much later on, maybe the third or fourth film that was made. But I think Double Dragon came out before.
I know that they were saying that Mario Brothers was the first one made, and that was made in 93.
Normally I would be dick and be like, all right, fucking audience, go out, fucking prove us wrong, email us at youthroughpoo@me.com, but you know what, I'm going to be nice, let's do an intermission, look it up, and then come back. Intermission time, go now.
And we're back.
And my balls are fucking huge because I was correct. In your fucking face.
But barely. Double Dragon came out in November of 94.
Oh, that's right. And when did Street Fighter come out, Ben?
December
of
94.
That's right. One whole fucking month. Suck my nuts.
The best part about not being in this conflict is I got to hold all the money.
But they were Shadaloo bucks. So
yes.
Bison dollars. Which are soundbite.
This money isn't worth the paper it's printed on.
On the contrary, every bison dollar will be worth 5 British pounds.
$5 for every? thing.
Yeah,
so,
you.
had M. Bison just taken over, you would be mildly rich.
Yep, it's well, sort of.
But he didn't take over because the fucking dickhole United Allied Nations fucking stopped them from doing any good in the world because, Bison actually wasn't all that bad in this movie.
Watching the movie again, and if you go back and watch this, pay attention to all the Allied Nation troops and Bison's henchmen and all that.
It seriously is red versus blue.
Yeah. But the Allied Nations troops are
they're fucking idiots.
All fucking dicks. Like at the end when they're taking the hostages, they're just beating the shit out of them when they're unarmed and they're like already chained up and everything. They're just going to town on these guys.
Well, seriously, they were shooting at them. But
everyone was shooting at everyone. It's a battle, but like once they surrender, you're just supposed to give that up and just take them, not sit there and just beat them when they're unarmed. And then at the beginning, they're just like, "All right, we're gonna arrest everyone." Oh well, we don't belong here. Too bad. Throwing you in jail.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
just like whatever. There we go.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was the whole major battle at the end was just awful. Anyway,
yeah. One thing that I thought kind of threw me off was at the end when they were evacuating all the troops or all the scientists and shit like that. Like this, they're escorting these people out of the the temple or whatever the fuck it was they were in, the base, whatever the hell. But they're all like dressed like just normal civilians, like everyday Joe Schmo, like here and there. There was no. They didn't have lab coats on or fucking anything.
I think those were all the hostages. A lot of them were all the hostages.
Were they?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. They were still just kind of.
Which I want to know, where the hell did they get the
what? They were all dressed as tourists.
Yeah. They looked like a whole bunch of tourists. It's like
they fucking deserve it because you don't fucking you don't go on holiday to fucking a country that's having a fucking war going on.
Yeah, that's like going on a holiday to North Korea. That's just dumb.
Yep.
Fucking.
Yep.
Although, that was another fucking stupid thing with fucking goddamn Blanca.
All right,
which they fucking merged people because Carlos Charlie was fucking Blanca.
I think we should just leave.
And then the other thing, there's no fucking yin and yang in this shit at all. I don't fucking understand it. There was fucking Balrog in there. He was on the wrong fucking side, and then there was Sagat.
So that sandwich we had at dinner was pretty good, huh?
Shut up, Nick.
All right. what was I talking about? Oh yeah, fucking Blanca. He was like they fucking Clockwork Oranged him and turned him into like a fucking douchebag, or tried to.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I don't know. If you're doing Clockwork Orange shit, they kind of fucked it up because they're showing him bad stuff, but then the scientists decide to show him good stuff.
Which would fuck him up even more.
Which would fuck you up even more, I would think. Yeah. It's kind of like, you're like, oh, because after watching, hours and hours of bad fucking shitty movies like this, you kind of become desensitized to some shit after a while. So, you watch fucking people putting babies on spikes for fucking 15 hours. Come around hour number like 4 or 5, you're like, no, it's not so bad.
What sort of conditioning would that be if suddenly you just got your programming just switched halfway through?
But you mix in some like fucking babies on spikes and then puppy dogs. You're like, oh look, the new little puppy, that's so cute. And then fucking baby on a spike, you're like, oh my god, it's like fucking, it's the little piece of ginger in your wasabi meal. Because ginger cleanses the palate and wasabi is spicy.
Do you want some more NyQuil?
No, not really.
It'll just make it worse, Ben.
Yeah. Now, the one good thing about this is it was like 4.5 to 5 minutes into the movie, like right into the movie, they already established the plot, the story, and what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's a good indication of that they really didn't have any substance to this film whatsoever.
I said, exploitation film.
It was absolutely. That's
like, this is what we're going to do, and then the rest of this movie is just going to be shit.
You kids are here to watch your favorite characters duke it out with one another, and go.
And it doesn't happen until like another hour later.
Like there's no fighting at all.
And the fights sucked.
Yeah, they weren't that good. Yeah. Well, like it was. You got a shitty Shuriken. You got a shitty fucking Hadouken. You got a shitty Hurricane Kick. He got a fairly decent little Jean-Claude Van Damme, scissor crescent kick thing. But he didn't do a sonic boom, so...
No.
Well, but, to his credit, he did do one of the classic, Van Damme, let's show off how pumped I am when I'm fighting moves. Like, he uppercutted somebody.
Yeah, and you saw his...
And there was, like, the split-second shot of, like, his bicep flex.
Yeah, he was just, like flexing his bicep. But it wasn't
I don't think that was his bicep. That was
a total, like...
That was the Russian dude's bicep. That was Zangief's bicep or something. Which that was kind of funny, too. Zangief, who was, like, dressed up in, like, kind of a military general outfit, kind of esque type thing. He was in a gi. I don't know.
Yeah.
He like throughout it, and he didn't look buff at all. He looked skinny, and then he took it off, and he's like, all right, he's kind of buff.
He looks more like the.
He was kind of funny. He had a funny moment.
Yeah.
I would play a soundbite for it, but you got to watch it to see it because you're watching TV, and then he's like, "Oh, change the channel." Because they're watching live broadcast.
Yeah, they're watching live broadcast. There's about to be an explosion with all their weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, they
and everyone's like all freaking out about it. He's like, "Oh, change the channel!"
yeah, that was funny. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was just played as a doofus. Well, there's a soundbite at the end that we could play.
Which one was it?
Where he realizes that he's like, "What? Here, soundbite."
DJ, why are you out of uniform? The enemies of peace and freedom are at our walls.
Are you totally demented, man? Our boss is the enemy of freedom and peace. These people have come from all over the world to stop him. If you're smart, you'll save your own ass.
General Bison, he's a bad guy. If you know this, then why do you serve him?
Because he paid me a freaking fortune, you moron.
You got paid?
Yeah, that was funny, but it was funnier if you see him say it. Like if you hear it, it's not as good.
It's one of those where you have to have both the visual and the audio to get the full joke.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think the biggest, you were talking about Guile douchiness.
Yeah.
I think the coup de grace of Guile douchiness in this film was he finally gets into the base. He finally finds his best friend, and he's just, he's mutated. He's a beast.
Oh God!
And
this was horrible.
First thing, he's like, "I will save you." And he pulls out his gun and he's about to shoot him in the fucking head with no regard. He's just like, "Oh, okay, well, fuck it."
Yeah, I didn't even give him a chance, man. He could have take him out for ice cream. Yeah, he was a bad guy or something.
And it wasn't even any.
Who knows? Maybe the effects would have wore off.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like he didn't say, "Oh, we'll change you. We'll try to get this fixed. You're still okay." The friend didn't even say, "Shoot me and put me out of my fucking misery."
Yeah, I know.
He just went ahead and did it, and he was able to sit there and talk to him. Like Charlie was, he was understanding him and communicating with him.
Yeah, like I think at the time, like Charlie Blanca, Carlos, whatever the fuck they wanted to put him in there. I'm not even gonna refer to him as Blanca. His name was
fuck him as Blanca.
George. So George was sitting there, fucking like crying. Well, not crying, but he was like, "Oh, what have I become?" So he knew that there was something fucking wrong, and
sort of almost the Hulk.
And he was gonna smash the retarded puppy. That's what he was gonna do.
Yeah. It was
fucking douche.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
And then Dawson came in, who was not the fucking Dawson from the video game because he didn't have stretchy arms, he didn't have a bald head, wasn't fucking.
Well, he got bald later on randomly.
Yeah.
Well, he had a bunch of chemicals dumped on him.
Which apparently
you really had to be paying attention to notice.
Yeah, but if you really pay attention, the chemicals just spill on his sleeve.
No, yeah, they could have at least fucking gave him stretchy arms from that or something.
Yeah, something.
That would require special effects.
He didn't even fight in this. He got his ass kicked by some random guy who wasn't even in the fucking game.
That was another one of those massive screw up things. You're like, why is Dawson?
They just threw the character
scientist
in there. They threw the character in there because of his name. That's
pretty much, yeah. It was just Dawson in name only. That was it.
Yep.
It's the same exact thing that they did with with the Super Mario Brothers movie. They just threw some of the characters in there, and they didn't look anything like they did in the game. They just like, oh, well, we're going to call this a Goomba.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going back to talking about like getting into kind of fight moves and stuff like that, there was one thing that I thought, and I remember watching this when I was a kid and saying like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool too. The only two fucking cool like logistic moments was one, I think, the E Honda thing where he's getting beat and he's like, oh, I got my mind in a different place. Oh, that was kind of cool, even though it was fucked up. But it was fucking wrong. The M. Bison at the very end, and he talks about how there's light rails that send trains back from like Tokyo to China or shit like that. And
how
he's using that
superconductor stuff.
Yeah, how he's using that technology in his suit
and that explains his powers.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I kind of.
You want to soundbite it?
Yeah, sure. Let's why not? Why not?
Soundbite.
This is merely superconductor electromagnetism. Surely you've heard of it. It levitates bullet trains from Tokyo to Osaka. It levitates my desk, where I ride the saddle of the world. And it levitates me.
Yay!
Yeah, that was cool.
You're being very generous with your sound bites tonight, too. So
I'm telling you, it's a NyQuil, man.
He sneezes all over it. He's like, just get sick. Just fucking
right. I really just want to. I'm spreading the love amongst you guys.
Moments of rage, punctuated by moments of giving.
And I did also, even though it looked really cheesy, I did kind of like how M. Bison's suit kind of revitalized and brought him back to death. I thought that was kind of cool.
Only if Raul Julia had that in real life. Well, he died from a stroke, so.
Well, it could bring you back from a stroke.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not back in 1993. I don't think technology was there.
94.
94,
whatever. Yeah.
Not in November of 94, but in December of 94. Would have been okay. Yeah. Which is funny because the Double Dragon movie takes place in the future, I think, but it came out in 94. That's a whole other movie I'll have to watch for shitty movie night.
I don't think I've actually seen that movie. So
no, it's bad. Yeah.
That was like in harmony almost.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Yes. There's more in this film, but honestly,
I got a note that there was Chun-Li had a shitty movie van. Or news van, I should.
Yeah.
That was a really shitty news van.
I just have the Ninja Reporter equals Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Because randomly she just turns into a ninja.
There's no point in her to be a news reporter in this, I think, either. No. They could have kept her.
They were trying to, I guess they were trying to, for a different way of establishing her in the country.
At least make her a cop that's working undercover as a news reporter. Explain that or something.
In the game, she's a cop and just fucking keep it that way.
Yeah, and it's really, even if you follow the story of the games, the stories were fucking, the stories weren't that great in the game either. They were very loosely connected.
After you beat an entire, everybody with one character, then you can figure out what was going on.
Yeah, and even then, there was a lot of shit that was disjointed and disconnected. But the story of the game was better than this fucking mung of crap shit balls.
There's one other soundbite that I want to play, and it really has nothing to do with anything. Oh, it's where the
soundbite.
Colonel. Yes? A single boat against everything he's got? The pilot would have to be out of his mind.
Luckily, Bison has driven me crazy.
Good Lord, you're good. That was strange.
It was listed. He had a sticky note on the button. Yeah, that was a really shitty.
That was just a shitty delivery.
That was a really shitty delivery. Well, that was nothing. This was a random character that they just made for the fucking movie. He was not in any of the damn games at all.
And the only thing that he was there for is for that shitty delivery. And then later on, when they're looking at a surveillance video, they start talking in Japanese and they do the Godzilla gimmick on the screen.
Yeah. I would do a soundbite of that, but nobody knows Japanese.
Yeah, you'll just hear Japanese going on.
Another thing that was kind of funny is they referred to the person by name a lot in this, so you would know it's that person because they didn't fucking match the damn characters in the game at all. One funny thing, try and find T-Hawk in this damn movie. Who shows up, he's got one line where he's like, "No, Guile," and Guile's like, "That's right, T-Hawk."
I think he was in the.
He was in the last battle. That was it. And the only reason you knew it was T-Hawk,
the boat that they were in.
Yeah, and the only reason you knew he was fucking T-Hawk is because he had a bandana on.
Yeah,
he wasn't fucking an Indian or Mexican or whatever the hell it was in the game. I think it was Mexican in the game actually.
I don't remember.
I think it was. But it was Mexican Indian. the other type of fucking thing that I thought was completely fucking stupid. They used a stealth boat. Right?
Oh, yeah.
This was fucking dumb. Because a stealth boat, you're in the water and you still see the entire waves as the boat's going. Dumb in itself. Pretty fucking dumb. But what did they do? They decided to take out a radar with their stealth fucking boat. So they go and they fucking just pull out this fucking minigun and just start shooting fucking everything on their way to this fucking radar. They're not doing a very good job of being stealthy.
Yeah, it's like...
Meanwhile, the obvious...
We're here! We're here! But shh, be quiet about it!
Yeah. Meanwhile, the obvious happens. The M. Bison's radar guy was like, hey, something weird's going on with the radar over here.
Yeah, he's like, hey, there's someone coming up the river here.
Yeah, this brings us to another shitty moment where M. Bison sees the boat going down the river, so what's he do? He goes to his own little fucking Street Fighter 2 panel and starts fucking button mashing to blow up the boat.
That's right, ladies and
gentlemen. Now you're the Street Fighter nerd.
Yeah.
Which control panel from what series of Street Fighter 2 was he using?
The only one I can think that was World Warrior. That's the only one that I would think of.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Because it had the whole map on it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and I remember what each button was. It was light kick, hard kick, and super kick, or like the strong one. I think that's what they were. And then there was the three ones on the top, which were the punches.
Yep.
Light, hard, or maybe it was light, medium, on hard. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. But he did accurately,
light, medium, and extra spicy.
Yeah,
and chipotle.
Yeah, he did accurately button mash, and that's pretty much what you fucking did.
Yeah, that's what you did in that game, man. Now, the other thing that kind of was pointless in that whole sequence was when they decided to put the cloaking device on this boat, which randomly they never said that they had it before. They were just like, "Oh, it's a stealth boat," but it's because it has cloaking device on it.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what
they
you're talking about.
They're wearing helmets, and right before they put the cloak on, they put down this blast shield in front of their helmets, and then after the cloak goes on, they take the blast shield right off.
I think they.
What was the whole point of that?
I think they did that because there had to have been.
Was there like some radiation that?
No,
they were trying to cover
I think one in every 9 stealth boats explode when they initiate the stealth drive. So they were taking precautions there.
Just to cover their faces, but
yeah.
And while they're rather riding down the river, Guile just decides to pull out this fucking tape and pop it into a tape cassette that they have.
About?
And he's sitting there watching a home video.
I think that was douchey moment number 9 or 10 or so.
Yeah,
I kind of stopped.
And see, if they took the money that they put aside for that tape deck into actually completing the cloaking device on the stealth boat, they could have covered up the minigun, and it would have been a little bit more stealthier.
Yeah.
Or they could have gotten a better actor than Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. Or they could have just. Or they could have just not pulled out the minigun to begin with, floated right up, and been halfway.
Just disabled it. Yeah,
just float up.
They had a ninja
flip a button, and that's
apparently.
it.
So, fucking A, man.
Yeah, there was a lot of parts in this movie that it honestly seemed like they just...
The AN is very shitty and rude military force.
Well, they did have very nice baby blue kerchiefs that they wore with their uniform.
Yeah, it was kind of funny that the uniforms were the same exact uniform, just a different color. You had the red and you had the blue, and it's like they had a meeting beforehand saying, "All right, what are you going to wear? What are you
going to be red? Good guys will be blue." Although, in my opinion, bad guys blue, good guys red. Because fucking Shadaloo was not that dick of an empire. They should have at least had him like trading drugs or something.
Oh yeah, they didn't have
even have that.
The only person that right at the beginning, he was throwing hostages into a pit.
Prisoners of war. He didn't even kill him.
No.
You know?
No.
Like, if you're going to have a bad guy, show him why he's a bad guy. There was no fucking proof of him being a bad guy.
He really just seemed like a guy that had some very strange ideas that weren't really going to work.
Yeah, but like,
there was more punishment towards the good guys' prisoners than there were the bad guys' prisoners.
Oh, yeah.
There was. Absolutely.
I mean, he even blackmailed two of them. It's like, all right, well, you go and do my dirty work, and I'll give you passports out of the country. You do this for me, then I'll help you.
Yep.
Well, what part are you talking about? Who?
That was
with
Guile.
Guile did that to Ken and Ryu.
Right,
yeah. Exactly, he did. And
another
like,
Guile douche mode.
God, he was just fucking. Oh man, I want to.
What did Bison do? He made his own money. He had Bisonopolis.
Yeah,
Bisonopolis. Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah, he was saying, well,
he was a little bit of a megalomaniac, like not much. He just wanted the credit he deserved.
He was like a rich guy who
wanted to get rid of
decided
all war.
He
was Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
that's what he was.
He wanted to get rid of all war, all poverty, all creeds and everything.
That's a pretty good fucking idea.
Get rid of all this stuff, and you will have peace on Earth. And that's pretty much what he wanted. He's like, if we get rid of all this shit that people are arguing over and make it under one cap,
He wanted people under his Pax by Sonica.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Yes.
Yeah. Soundbite of that one, I guess.
Yeah. Do that whole speech. Soundbite.
Carlos Blanca will be the first of many. They shall march out of my laboratory and sweep away every adversary, every creed, every nation, until the very planet is in the loving grip of the Pax by Sonica. And then peace will reign in the world, and all humanity shall bow to me in humble gratitude.
That one, I don't know what the Pax by Blanca
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny, like the entire, it's like they were writing this and they're like, okay, they've got this line out of all right, I want to stop all the war and poverty, and they're like, wait a minute, that's not something a bad guy would say. Well, how are we going to make this bad? Just throw in the line about how so all the world will bow to him. There you go.
Yeah.
Bad guy, instant bad guy, and that doesn't fucking work, man.
Yeah, but
I mean, more than that.
But then he says that, and then you go over to Guile, who's like, I'm gonna run over there and kick his ass.
So hard.
Fuck you for saying you want peace. I'm gonna fucking kick his ass. Yeah.
So hard that the
bravado.
next Bison wannabe goes and feels it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he was ready to just march in there and just destroy him, and Bison was just like, all right,
whatever.
You want to fight? You got 3 days.
I know, he was. And like, Bison was like, I'm going to fight you in unarmed combat.
Yeah.
I am.
And when Guile faked his own death, DJ was telling Bison, he's like, oh, Guile's dead, yay, hooray. And Bison's like, no, that is bad. I do not celebrate. I mourn his death.
Yeah.
He was all passionate about it. He had very good sportsmanship.
Good, man.
Other than his couple of really crazy ideas, he seemed like an okay guy.
But you know what? You have to take the good with the bad.
He was the Joe Montana of evil dictators. That's what it was.
Exactly. Well, you see here, if you
I don't know.
I can't do a good Joe Montana. I just stopped right before I got into it.
Probably safer that way. So.
Yeah.
Hey, is that John Candy up there? That was famous. that was a line Joe Montana had.
Well, okay. I think it's about time to wrap this
up. All right,
up.
I have to do my favorite line.
Oh yes, we haven't gotten to it.
Right.
Yes.
And, all right,
true.
Just soundbite of it.
My father saved his village at the cost of his own life. You had him shot as you ran away. A hero at 1,000 paces.
I'm sorry. I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
That actually playing it back wasn't as cool as I thought.
No,
it was cool. I liked it. It was a good line. It ranks up there. I really like that line. It's a line that I want to fucking deliver to somebody else.
Yes.
I want to do that to an ex-girlfriend.
That
like,
whole
what do you mean you don't remember the day you ran over my dog and threatened to fucking slice my dad's throat? Like, well, I'm sure that was an important day for you, my dear, but to me, it was a Tuesday.
I run over so many dogs that one was just another one.
Yeah. That was just a perfect delivery.
I don't think I ever threatened to run over my ex's dog.
No.
I did probably threaten to slice your throat once or twice. But.
Ooh, hey, all right.
All right, so...
random soundbite.
Eskimo!
And moving right along. I had to get out of there somewhere.
What Nick meant to say was he was going to go and...
I never was going to read your email.
Love.
I really meant I was never going to slice you a piece of pie.
Yes.
Nah, anyway.
Yeah, but that was an awesome line, and that was his only other line going back to the beginning of this.
Well, every line was really good that I liked
line,
him.
but it was delivered so well.
It was such an awesome, eloquent line, man.
You're like, okay, I will give that to you.
Every line that Bison had or Raul Julia did, he fucking put 110% in. It was fucking awesome.
He went out with a bang. Even though this movie just bombed, he went out with a bang, and he just said, you know what, fuck you guys.
Well, if
this movie sucks, but I am going to be really damn good at it.
If it is a bomb, shouldn't it go out with a bang?
Well, you know what I mean. You know the metaphors and everything. Stop trying to be a douche.
I've got one Nick douche point here.
Well, are we gonna? You want to wrap this up?
Hold on. There was one comment that I wanted to throw in here because I'm spamming people, and I want to get your guys' mindset of this one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna read this.
Okay. All
right. So I'm gonna just read this as is and just see what you guys think. So
okay.
IMDb user Manchoff.
Manchoff?
Yeah. Manchoff.
Okay.
All right, this is what he said when I asked people on the internet community to kind of say what they thought. Manchoff says, as quote, and I quote, "This movie is king. Nothing can touch this movie in terms of cinema entertainment. As this movie stands, it is the best live-action Street Fighter movie, though that isn't saying much as its only competition is The Legend of Chun-Li, and that movie is worse than this one. You can tell the actors had fun making this movie, and what it all boils down to is how enjoyable a movie is that determines its quality despite its flaws. I like it because it feels like Street Fighter at times, and it manages to make some characters more interesting than their video game counterparts. M. Bison and Zangief, for example, all in all. It's a decent movie that gets some things right and some things wrong, but it knows what kind of genre movie it is, so you should know what to expect from it. Please visit me on my website if you love energy drinks, www.xbfitenergy.blue/poofling or whatever the hell that is.
There must be some chemical in his energy drink that is fucking with his brain.
He's off the fucking rocker. He never played the damn Street Fighter game.
It's hard for me to take it seriously if a guy's promoting his product at the bottom of the comment.
If he thinks that this is like the game or is that this is entertaining,
maybe he only played the Street Fighter movie game.
He must have played the Street Fighter movie game.
I don't know.
Which is a game based on a movie based on a game.
Yeah. But what do you think about his comment of the actors enjoying themselves in this? I don't think that came across at all.
I could see it in Raul Julia.
I think he was just a good fucking actor. I can't say he enjoyed it. I think he's just a good fucking actor.
Oh, I think he might have enjoyed it.
He's like Tim Curry, man. Just like everything he does.
Yeah, everything he touches is gold.
Yeah.
Even if it's a turd.
All right, so that's it all for Nick's browsing on the internet comment section.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with this guy.
Yeah,
I just think
either.
I don't know. This guy was
I kind of don't agree with it either. I think it was I haven't seen The Legend of Chun-Li. I heard that was pretty fucking bad too. But
yeah, I never even heard of that until
really?
then. No.
What?
That came out fairly
2009
recently.
or 2008. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Recently.
Well, okay, maybe.
Yeah, the only person I know that's in it is Michael Clark Duncan. I don't even know if he's really in it. I just remember seeing some big burly black guy in it.
Just somebody.
So I just assumed it was Michael Clark Duncan.
Could be Shaq. Could be Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, right.
We don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I do not agree with that. It's no.
All right.
No.
Well, let's wrap it up because I can't think of anything else.
No. Yeah. Let's wrap it.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Review. 1 being the best movie of all time, 10 being the worst movie of all time. Ben, what do you give it?
It was an entertaining movie just for the fact of Raul Julia. Jean-Claude Van Damme sucks in this film. I mean, he doesn't suck as an actor. I've seen some decent stuff that he's done, but this one he just dropped the ball. I think that was more of casting, and the script was shitty. They just shat all over the characters with it and didn't do the video game justice. I give this movie an 8.
Scott?
Well, I basically have the same sort of reasoning that Ben did. He hit the nail pretty much on the head right there. You know, Van Damme. I like. I actually like most of Van Damme's stuff. He's sort of you get what you were expecting sort of guy.
Yeah.
But in this one, he sucked, and the plot was pretty much crap. They dropped the ball like in a seriously major way in this movie. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's bad. I hate it. I don't want to watch it again.
All right, I agree with both of you. I don't think there's anything I can really say that I haven't said except they fucked up this goddamn movie so bad. Like the fucking game was nothing like this movie. Characters were all fucked up. Characters were on the wrong side. Script sucked. They fucking didn't even do their research on this. Editing was okay. I thought editing was decent. Editing was okay. They had fucking like 25 fucking ACE editors on this shit. So
it should have been. It should have been
shot fairly decently, I guess. Sets stupid. Fucking costume prop department fucking stupid. Jean-Claude Van Damme stupid. Raul Julia fucking awesome. I am going to give it an 8 as well. The only reason it even gets 2 points is because Raul Julia was fucking awesome in this shit.
Yes.
Everything else was like, but with that being said, with such a shitty fuck, maybe I'll bump it up to a 7.5. But only reason that this is a very enigmatic thing that we have here, because it was a shitty film, and I'm going to give it an 8. But this is a film I think I'm always going to go back and watch to remind myself of how badly they fucked up. Like, it's something that I think I would watch if I saw it again on TV, just because it was such a fucking rape of Street Fighter.
And the only way I would watch this again is just for Raul Julia's performance.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that keeps having me come back to this film.
Go to YouTube. I'm sure fucking somebody's done it. Just cut out all the scenes with Raul Julia, or cut all the scenes with Raul Julia and put it in its own little, like, best of Street Fighter thing and just throw it up there. And maybe throw in the one line from that, like, Zangief did, because he was funny in his 1 or 2 lines that he did.
A couple of them.
All right. So what do we have for next week? Who's
8?
Oh, it's my turn next.
Wait, what was the last reviews again?
8, 7,
7.5.
7.5. Okay, all right.
Or an 8.
So it's a 42.
Carry the 3.
The answer to everything. This movie answers everything.
And the final score is strawberry.
All right, what movie are we watching next week?
Well, you know what time it is. When you think of December, what's the one holiday you guys think of? The big obvious one that
Hanukkah.
I hate you guys so much. Yes, Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. When you add those two together, what do you get? Christmas.
Oh,
right. Oh, yeah. You know, that little obscure holiday that, is...
It just kind of pops up here and there.
That, like, Walmart celebrates and nobody else does.
Doesn't that, like, start in July?
Something like that. I don't know. It's pretty long. But
I thought it was right after 4th of July, and then it just goes straight into Christmas.
Yeah, I get. It just depends on what state you're in, I think. Okay. I'm not sure.
All right,
so when you're thinking of Christmas, what's the first thing you think of?
Reindeer.
I'll just go with it. Santa Claus.
Eggnog.
Santa Claus.
Fruit Loops.
Well, I want to end this podcast.
For me, it's whooping.
What the fuck?
It's a whooping.
What? A whooping?
A whooping, yep. And with that being said, I am going to give you guys...
I'm sorry about your childhood.
Well,
it's Christmas time, boy!
Time for a whooping. It's your Christmas whooping.
Please, Daddy, I just want 2 spankings for Christmas, not 17 like last year.
No, we're following the Hanukkah rules. You get 1 spanking every 8 days.
Now go outside and get the Christmas branch. But yeah, enough with my trauma. So I'm going to give you the greatest Christmas present of all. And that is... Santa's Sleigh.
Ooh. Was that the one with Goldberg?
Yes, it was.
Awesome. Okay.
It's got a budget, so it could be crap.
I've kind of been wanting to see that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say I've been wanting to see it. I know of it. It's kind of something I should have seen.
Yeah, there's a whole... once we started this podcast, just a floodgate of shitty movies. That just kind of like been
there's definitely not a shortage of shitty movies out there, man.
Well, we were doing this sort of as a hobby before we started reviewing it, so we've been around the block.
With the audience.
The movie dump. We just record what you guys do after watching a shitty movie anyway. So except with sound bites, because you don't have that.
No,
you don't have the keypad.
We just play it in our head. We just go soundbite and we just all look up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Santa Sleigh.
Santa Sleigh.
Next week.
Be there.
Sleigh,
all right.
Next week. Yes. Well, that's it for Movie Dump this week.
That's it. Yes. Check out our website, themoviedump.com. Send us an email. Comment on something. Review us on iTunes.
What's the email?
youthroughpoo@me.com.
Yes.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah. So until next week,
enjoy.
Yeah, I'm Ben.
Well, I'm Scott Bennick.
Just take the easy way out.
Yeah, it was good.
What are you talking about, man? That's my real name. I don't know what you...
Well, that means I must be Nick Scoppin.
Yeah. Oh, and before we end, I just have to say, this past Thanksgiving, Scott came over to my house and actually told my dad his last name. And without missing a beat, my dad's just like, no, really, what's your last name?
I think everybody says that.
Yeah.
Can't spell it. Can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
Most people just pretend it really isn't there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So, until next week.
It's really Stevenson.
Standby.
Game over!